What's up, guys? UFC 323 is this weekend, and we've got a pretty stacked card before we get the bad card, and then a 6-week break. So, we're going to be breaking down these fights, going over each individual fight, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event. Also, before we get into that, I didn't even pull it up today. We have a giveaway on this channel for every single pay-per-view. I give out $100 to the winner of my Pick'ems group. So join my Pick'ems group on Tapology.com/groups/2048. Make your picks like both only Pac-Man and EJTDFC, who are the only two guys who have ever won my money. So please make picks so that they aren't the only guys winning it. I'm just kidding, guys. I love you guys. But no. You guys make fight picks. You can win $100 as both Pac-Man and EJTDFC has. From my own pocket, you just have to have a CashApp and a Tapology account. Tapology's completely free. CashApp's free as well, but, you know, to get my rewards, you have to have CashApp so that I can send it to you easy. And then just make a Tapology account, make some fight picks like we're about to do, and then you have a chance to win as long as you put in your stuff in the UFC pay-per-view winner cash prize. Now we will get into the fight predictions and all that. We're going to start with the very first prelim of the evening. That will be Muhammad Naimov versus Marion Santos. I am going to be picking Marion Santos by decision. I think that he gets the job done picking apart Muhammad Naimov from the outside. I do think his takedown defense is pretty good, and I think that we're going to see just your typical Marion Santos performance that he's had over the past two fights, if you will. Striking at range and just kind of piecing up his opponent until the decision happens. Mansur Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. We're moving to the middleweight division for this one, and I am going to be picking Mansur Abdul Malik by round 2 knockout. A lot of people are being kind of hesitant in the sense of like betting perspectives of saying not to pick him by KO, to pick him by, you know, decision or something like that, and I very well could see that happening because, you know, but Antonio Tricoli's terrible, and Abdul Malik's style is more of that forward, aggressive style, so I can see him getting an early finish. Actually, I'm going to be picking round 1. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Ibo Aslan versus Iwo, the battle of Ibo versus Iwo. Which letter is better, a B or a W? I'm going to be picking Iwo Baranuski by round 2 TKO. I think he's going to get Ibo Aslan down to the ground and land some significant strikes and end up finishing him by ground and pound. I could see Ibo Aslan winning this fight because I have heard that he's been training very hard at, I don't remember what gym, but at a very high level gym. I don't care. It's Ibo Aslan. Round 2 TKO for Baranuski. Moving to the lightweight division, we have Jalen Turner versus Edson Barbosa. One of these guys is 39 years old. One of these guys is 30 years old. And one of them is just coming off of a recent retirement. And you would imagine it'd be the 39-year-old, but it is the 30-year-old. Who I am also picking to win this fight by KO, because I don't trust Edson Barbosa. So I'm going to pick round 2 KO, or round 1 KO, because Jalen Turner tends to slow down after round 1 anyways, if he ends up hurting you. I think he's going to hurt Edson Barbosa and then just get the finish. He is extremely long and rangy for this weight class, although Edson Barbosa does have a pretty long reach for this weight and for his height. But, yeah, I've got Jalen Turner winning by round 1 KO. I think this is going to be one of those. He picks him apart until he lands the shot that either hurts him or KOs him bad. Like, he's either getting KO'd really badly or hurt really badly and then finished. We move to Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. We are here in the middleweight division, and I am going to be picking Bruno Ferreira by decision. I think that he's going to land the heavier strikes. Marvin Vettori may land more, but he's going to land the damaging heavy shots that really leads Marvin Vettori to losing this fight, if you will. He's going to club him to death until Marvin Vettori's blockhead can just not absorb it anymore. But I don't know when that blockhead right there is going to stop absorbing punches, so I'm picking decision, although Bruno Ferreira has literally never had a fight go to decision, so I do think that might be a bad pick. God, have I picked all finishes? Have I picked all finishes? That's what I'm looking at. Nope, there's a decision. Okay, this is safe. No. I'm going to be picking decision. Yeah, I just feel like it's the safer option. Bruno Ferreira is a known finisher, but Marvin Vettori is a known cockroach. This dude doesn't get squished. Like, he doesn't die when you squish him. He's a cockroach of this division. He will not go away. Moving on to Fareziam versus Nazim Sadikov. Very tough fight to call. I do think that Fareziam's takedown defense is good enough to stop any kind of grapple fest from Sadikov, but Sadikov's striking is really good as well. Fareziam's very dangerous with his knees and stuff like that. He is the longer, rangier striker of the two. He went to a split decision with Claudio Puelles, which is kind of rough. He beat Mike Davis, though. Beating Mike Davis is extremely impressive in my eyes. I'm going to be picking Fareziam to defeat Nazim Sadikov by decision. I think this is actually going to be a very high-level fight, and it's going to be really fun to watch. I think this is going to be a close fight, but I do think that Nazim Sadikov just isn't quite at the skill level that Fareziam is in the striking department. We move to the women's flyweight division. Let's see what happens. We've got Macy Barber winning. Has she ever won by anything other than decision? Does she lose to anything other than decision? Okay, Macy Barber by decision. That's simple. Good job, fellas. Coin's always holding up strong. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. I almost called him Christian Leroy Duncan. Chris Duncan being the slight favorite here. I do think that if he weathers the storm of Terrence McKinney, who has only beaten the lowest of level fighters, that he will knock out Terrence McKinney or guillotine him. I am going to be picking round 2 KO. You know what? Round 1 sub. Not round 2 KO. Jesus, I'm all over the place. Round 2 KO. I think that Chris Duncan is going to weather the early storm of Terrence McKinney trying to take him down or knock him out. And then what happens to Terrence McKinney in the second round is going to happen to Terrence McKinney in the second round of this fight. Yeah, that is my breakdown for that one. Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres. I am going to be picking Grant Dawson by decision. I think, well, maybe not by decision. I think with the type of ground and pound that Grant Dawson has displayed, it's going to open up his submission game. And I think he is going to submit Manuel Torres here in the second round, maybe the third. But I could see him getting a finish here in this fight. I'm going to pick second round. I've got Grant Dawson, submission, round 2. Moving to the main card, we've got Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov here off of a 4-fight win streak. His most notable win being against Nikita Krylov. The rest are kind of nobodies, to be fair. He has finished all of them, though. And Jan Blachowicz is old, but has never been finished, but doesn't get finished very often. And has incredible defensive striking. Counter striking is very good. And I can see Jan Blachowicz outstriking Bogdan Guskov for all 3 rounds, stopping all the takedowns, and it not really being too much of an issue. He is shorter with the longer reach, too. I always love seeing that. So I've got Jan Blachowicz by decision. Might be a bad pick because if it goes to decision, they probably don't want to pick the 42-year-old man to win, even if he is winning. Speaking of old men, we've got Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Right? Like, I don't know why he is the underdog, but he is. I am picking Henry Cejudo by decision. Henry Cejudo has fought at the top level. He was a 2-division world champion. Let me tell you, Peyton Talbot lost to Hani Barcelos not long ago. Like, what? This is a year ago. Less than a year. Bro. And he's the underdog. Or fucking Cejudo's the underdog. Which is just outstanding. I love that. You love seeing that. I'm picking Henry Cejudo by decision. I think this is an easy fight. Yes, Peyton Talbot might land some shots at range, and he could KO Henry Cejudo at range because Cejudo is all of 5'2". So yeah, keep the midget at range, and then just strike with some straight shots. Just keep him backed up. John Jones him, and then straight shots right under your eye pokes. That'd knock out Henry Cejudo immediately. Maybe that's what Peyton Talbot's going to do since they already don't like Cejudo. Just eye poke him, hit him, and then the fight's over. It's KO. Anyways, I've got Cejudo by decision. We'll go to Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno, man. I'm going to be picking... I don't know what has happened on this channel lately to make me do this, but here lately, I've been picking them again, if you know what I'm saying. A lot of Asians. And I'm going to be picking Tatsuro Taira by decision. I think that the positions are going to be too much for Brandon Moreno. I don't think he's going to get submitted, but I think there's going to be way too much times of control for Tatsuro Taira. And his striking has gotten better. It is not amazing still, but it did get better. His win against Hyung Sung Park, although not aging well now, I thought it was really good because I thought that Hyung Sung Park's striking is really good and his defensive grappling was pretty solid, and he just went in there and kind of did what he did to him. Anyways, I've got Tatsuro Taira winning by decision. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. We've got Alessandro Pantoja versus Joshua Van. We're doing it. I am doing it. We are going to be the champion come Saturday night by 3rd round TKO via body shots. Here's something I want to point out about Alessandro Pantoja as to why I'm doing this. Pantoja in his fights go so incredibly hard, especially in the 1st and 2nd rounds, that he doesn't control himself at all. And Joshua Van, incredibly patient. He will fight at a high pace no matter what. Incredibly patient, doesn't over-pursue things, doesn't overdo a lot of his things. Stays well back while in his boxing. Like, he never overthrows. He's never here, over-committing to a punch way down here. He's always in tight like this. He's here, close in, tight. Sprawls are good. Once he sprawls out that first take, once he gets a whole understanding of your first takedown attempts and starts sprawling them, he does an incredible job ever after that. Now, I can see Pantoja just getting to the sprawl position, shucking over the underhook and then going right to the back, or the overhook and then going right to the back. and submitting submitting Joshua Van in the very first round, the second round, any round that isn't fourth or fifth, honestly. But I am going to be picking Joshua Van to prevent all of that and end up with a body shot TKO. I think he's going to land a lot. I think he's going to land more than anyone else has on Pantoja and then finish him. But I do think this is going to be a tough fight for him. He is a very young kid coming into this fight. I could see it being way too much, way too soon for him. And, you know, I should be picking Pantoja because it's the smart pick because he is a GOAT of the division. But I like Joshua Van's fight style, and I do see it giving Pantoja a lot of problems if he comes in there in the right mindset and actually fights the way that he fights normally. But this is my breakdown for that fight. Now let's move into the main event. Hey, you have to be a man first. You're not going to come here and take my belt after I 50-45 you how many years ago? 3 years ago. Anyways, dude, you know what's happening in this fight. Merab, by whatever he wants, it doesn't matter. It's obnoxious. I'm tired of seeing this gremlin. He's about to tie Anderson Silva's record too. Anderson Silva is my favorite fighter ever. I hate seeing these gremlins that just want to hold people tie his record where he actually did some impressive stuff. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm not... It's all fine. Everything's okay. One day, the gremlins will be gone. We won't have to deal with these people anymore. But, until then, I'm picking Merab. By decision. He's just gonna do what he did before again, but he's better now. Petr Yan isn't even better. He looks the same. Anyways, I'm done with this fight predictions. These are my fight predictions. We're going to go back over them and then give my confidence level. 100% confidence. Merab Dvalishvili wins by decision. Easy. 100%. There's not a doubt in my mind. Joshua Van, I'm 50-50%. So, 50-50 chance he wins, in my eyes. Tatsuro Taira, I got a 70% chance. He is Asian, so that's a big 30% coming back at you. Henry Cejudo by decision. I'm very confident in that. I'm outside of the length of Talbot. I'm not really sure why he's in this fight. Bogdan Guskov versus Jan Blachowicz. I have Blachowicz winning by decision. I'm fairly I'm 60-40 on that one. They are 60-40 too. Grant Dawson, 100%. I have a very high confidence rate in that outside of him just getting chinned, so 95. Chris Duncan, I am very confident in as long as he doesn't get immediately finished, which I don't think he will. Macy Barber, don't know. That was a coin flip. Fares Ziam, I am pretty confident in that pick, 70%. Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Vajeda. I don't know, 80%. Jalen Turner versus Edson Barbosa. I have Jalen Turner winning by round 1 KO, and I am very confident in that. Iwo versus Ebo. Flip your coin, honestly. These are two guys that I don't care about. Mansour Abdul Malik will crush him, 100%. And Marion Santos beating Naimov by decision. I think that's a fair chance it happens. I would say 70%. Anyways, those are my fight predictions. Like I said, you guys can make $100 by doing this exact same thing as long as you join my Tapology group and post your picks or save your picks like this, just like that. And that is all it takes to qualify to win $100 for each pay-per-view. Anyways, those are my fight picks. I'll see you guys Saturday for the Fight Companion. Enjoy the fights, everybody. Have a great day.